Hey, what's up and hello. This is the Chris Nicole bringing you my views on life, love, and the world of entertainment through my eyes. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what time you are watching this live. Hello, crew. Hope all is well. Make sure you hit the like button on the way in. Woo, Suge said, I'm locked, I'm loaded. I'm ready for action. This is for Compton. That's what he said. Now, interesting enough, though, some of these things, if I can be honest, I'm not shocked about. There have been rumors. I'm sure even people who are not from here, not from California, not from LA, would know that some of these things have been floating around if they've been on the social media streets. Okay. Hey, Nene, what's up? So yeah, first of all, let me give a shout out to the Art of Dialogue. I believe he's a brother who is doing his thing. And what I really love is that he's doing it and he's pissing Vlad off. Yeah, because he claims Vlad at one point, I believe, said something that the Art of Dialogue was kind of copying him or said something about his logo and all of this stuff. Well, now the Art of Dialogue is coming up, and a lot of people are starting to go to the Art of Dialogue, like Suge Knight, okay? So yeah, kudos to the Art of Dialogue. Keep doing your thing, brother. So he had Suge Knight on his show or doing an interview with him. Of course, everybody should know who Suge Knight is. I hope I don't have to give a history lesson on who Suge Knight is. um Hey, Sonny, none of them like Vlad for real. Vlad don't like them either. Vlad, in my opinion, is always hating on others, especially in my opinion, others that don't look like him. Yeah. So, but with that being said, he actually interviewed Suge. Now, the big thing right now, of course, is everyone talking about the Whitney Houston and the Tupac situation. However, I want to actually go over another video also where I don't know if anybody heard this. We gonna have to talk about it because I know, what I'm saying, kind of little backwards lingo to a certain extent. So y'all, we gonna listen to this and you let me know what you think about this. All right, fair use.
Two rider, the one used to call you Ray Dog. Now I get to that in a minute. The brother Rim was not done at Can Am. It's the tracks, it's the studio to show where it was done at. Doggy Star wasn't done there. Chronic wasn't done there. Only album was technically really done there was All Eyes on Me. And Ray J, you've never been in the studio with us, nor Pop. Never. When it comes to anybody in my past, everybody got a problem with the past because today they live in a lie.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Anything you check, you're going to see the credit on that album. Anything you see made that company, you're going to see who made that company. But when it comes to Ray J, you saying you got my life right. Let me tell you something, little boy. Now I'm going to tell you the truth. First of all, now you playing with my kids and my family, so we're going to play with yours. Since you say you got my life right, and you trying to mess up the money that my family gets, now I'm going to sue your little punk ass. And I'm going to get every dime you get. Every dime your mama hide for you and everybody else. Now let's break it all the way down. I love Danny Boy. Danny Boy not my biological son, but I always loved Danny Boy as a son. When you get up there and say that you didn't know Danny Boy was gay, Ray J, You knew Danny Boy was gay when Danny Boy was slipping and slide. What I love about Danny Boy, he owned it. And I'm proud of him for that.
Did y'all hear that? Let's start off. Let's he said, then now Danny Boy. So this is just, if people don't know the background, Ray J went on Vlad TV and did an interview and claimed that he was around Death Row at the time when Death Row was popping. Mind you, Ray J literally at the time was preteen or just getting into his teens, but he's talking as if he was around them at that time, okay? But he said that, I guess in the Vlad interview, that Ray J was like, I got Suge's life rights. And so Suge was like, hold up, little ninja, and let me make this very, very clear. Let me start telling the truth on you. And he said, yeah, I love Danny Boy. He said, you know, but you claiming that Danny Boy wasn't gay. Ray J, you knew he was gay. You knew he was gay because he was slipping and sliding. So what y'all, let me continue to play it, okay? Because let's be clear, yeah, everyone knew Danny Boy was gay, but he ain't talking about Danny Boy. Listen to what he said, Sonny. Hey, Leo. Hey, Marley. Hey, Danielle. So let me continue. Let me continue.
And I'm not running for that. That's who he was. That's who he is. Now, I call Pooh Riding, like we all call Pooh Riding that. All of us who know him and love him. Because Pooh was a rider. I'm going to say this, I'm going to get off you, Ray J. But you called him Pooh Riding because you know he was riding. You.
Y'all heard that?
You said about Puffy.
I'm about to rewind it. Did you just hit rewind? Rewind. Yeah, I'm gonna rewind it, okay?
Pooh was a rider. I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna get off you, Ray J. But you called him Pooh Riding because you know he was riding. You. All those things you said about Puffy and all what's going on, how Puffy was bragging about he had something to do with the homie not being here. And I'm telling you, this is a recording penitentiary phone call. For you to record me, because I'm telling you, whatever I say once, I can say twice. When I told you, since you fuck with Snoop, you fuck with Puffy. You was living with Puffy. Y'all was sharing beds. I said, don't go in there talking about Pac because you fuck with his enemies. That's what.
Did y'all hear that? He said you were sharing beds with Diddy. Do y'all hear what that man is saying? Is it clear? Is it clear? Okay, let's go.
I said, I believe that a man should be able to forgive every person relying on me. I forgave them. Y'all been doing these shows, these podcasts, telling lie after lie after lie. I'm going to say something about singing Danny Boy. And this ain't no disrespect. DB, you know what's up. But Danny Boy is a cold player, man. All those dudes know Danny Boy in and out on him. In and out. In and out. Out and in. Shit. Making them think they're a woman. So everybody want to throw Danny Boy in the bus and be like, oh, he was the gay one. Okay. Who was hanging with Danny Boy? Who was hanging with Puffy? And you know one more thing. It's like this. I ain't never known Danny Boy to lie. Now Danny Boy might get some shit confused and think somebody said something about him and he might go on one or whatever. But Danny Boy, Ray J, Young Buck, they say Baby Styles, E, it was some one of those other dudes. Well, anyway, Danny Boy is telling their face and said it more than once. Who get the best head better than the bitch? Number one.
Hold up. Wait. Did y'all hear that? Hold up. Did you hear that? When I tell you, I said, did people hear this one? Why they talking about the Whitney and the Pac? Did they hear this one? To me, this is the one that is literally the tea that no one knew. People have been hearing rumors about the other stuff, but this, I was like, people missing this one. Missing it.
Danny Boy, I ain't never, like I said, I ain't never known him to lie. But at the same time, Puffy and Ray J was living together. When Corona came, everybody was in quarantine. Said that Miami Beach House, Store Island, was their playground. All of a sudden, when you try to get brownie points from these dudes, make no sense. I was trying to figure that the more you try to be positive, the more they want you to be negative.
So, yeah, let me just do a summary for those who just came in, and make sure you hit the like button on the way in, like, share, and subscribe. And of course, replay gang is always appreciated. Yeah, so in a nutshell, Suge said, okay, in other words, if you about to lie on me, let me expose the truth about you. Now, allegedly, but this is what Suge said. Suge pretty much implying that Ray J is carrying the rainbow flag. All right. Now the thing is, ain't nothing wrong with it when you're honest. Okay. So at the end of the day, but he said, yeah, you knew he was gay because he was slipping and sliding. And he even said a part where he said slipping and sliding in you. All right. And then he also said you used to like, I think he said live with Diddy, sleep in his bed. Yeah. He said a lot. And he actually sat up there and said, and DB is Danny Boy, by the way. And for those who don't know who Danny Boy is, Danny Boy was the guy who typically sung the male hooks on all the Death Row stuff, Tupac stuff. And he was the one when Suge Knight went up on the stage and said, y'all want producers dancing in the videos, dancing and all that stuff. If you don't want that, come to Death Row. Danny Boy was on the stage with him. So yeah, but Danny Boy, he actually has been doing a lot of interviews for the past couple of years. For those, like, Danny Boy has been on it. And he's even talked about his issues with Suge as well. You know what I mean? Like, he's talked about that also. So it's not like, they were on the best of terms. Suge has definitely, pissed a lot of people off. But baby, this tea, I was just like, okay, he went there. Dry snitching to me, DeMarcus, is you do dirt, I do dirt, and then I snitch on you to get out of it. Now, you may say he just talking too much, but at the end of the day, the reason why he's talking is because people are speaking on him. So this is what triggered it. That Vlad interview. So he decided that he was going to speak out. That was his thing. He's speaking out because of that Vlad interview and what Ray J said. So that's why he was like, okay, you want to play with me? All right, let's do this. Now, some could say that they think that he's lying, maybe because he's pissed off about what Ray J said or whatever the case may be. The interesting thing about this, I don't know if we will ever know if it's true or not unless one of them speak out about it, or if Danny Boy mentions something. Danny Boy still got a lot of secrets that he has not talked about, and I think a lot of that is also because he's still out here in these streets. But Danny Boy has definitely kept his mouth shut. He's still, like, for example, I remember when he had one interview where he said, no, if anybody knew that I was gay, it was because it was pretty much him implying that we was probably doing something, or they also were gay and they were in the same underground elements that I was in. So yeah, he definitely still has a lot. Danny Boy need to write a book or do an exclusive that he just airs everything out, in my opinion. But I can also understand that he may not want to do that because, he's still out there in the streets and he don't want that, you know what I'm saying, that drama. Hey, D Dot. Hey, D Dot. Make sure you guys hit the like button on the way in. Yeah, that's what he said allegedly. That's what he said allegedly on her. Suge does not make this stuff up. No one ever argues what he tells. True. But at the same time, no one ever argues with what a lot of people say, and people don't feel like they telling the truth ever, like Jaguar Wright. A lot of people don't ever argue with what Jaguar Wright says, but people feel like she not telling the truth. But I don't see the purpose. Like, Suge is doing his time. I don't know if he's ever gonna get out, but he's doing his time. I don't see the purpose of him at this point lying, but I don't know. Danny Boy admitted that he had he did. Okay, well then if he did, now again, I haven't seen it. I'll have to research it and check it out. But yeah. So if that is the case, Suge done dropped, locked and loaded, and not just said on a Danny Boy situation, but on a Diddy situation. And he threw Snoop's name in there too. Now, for those who may not know, y'all know that Snoop and Ray J are cousins, right? Now, I don't know if they blood cousins or because both of their families come from Mississippi and maybe they families knew each other. And you know how we are. We call everybody cousins that we grew up with. But yeah, they're cousins. So it's interesting that pretty much he also was implying that these cousins are unalivers. Okay. Because as far as I see it, even if you didn't physically do it, if you were involved in it some kind of way, you are just as guilty as the person who actually did it. But I wanted to talk about this situation first, because to me, this was the part where I was just like, what the hell? Suge, you not playing no damn games. When he said, because you knew DB was gay because he was slipping and sliding. I said, oh, for those who know West Coast lingo, oh, he implying a lot. He implying a lot. And he said the Diddy stuff at this point, yeah, he attaching that man to Diddy. Ray J, are you in that paperwork some kind of way? You in a video maybe? Possibly. I don't know. That's why probably a lot of people being quiet right now, because a lot of their secrets may be exposed. But yeah, so that was one of the main. Oh, you believe what, D-Dot, that he's in a possible video or some paperwork? And that's another thing too. From my understanding, Brandy and Ray J are not talking right now. It's making me wonder if she realizes a lot of this stuff at this point, and if she's heard a lot of stuff at this point and she is keeping her distance. You can't. Orlando Brown, I just, unfortunately, no matter what he says at this point, I don't know if anybody's ever going to believe it. Because unfortunately, because of how he acts, some of the stuff he may say is true, but since he has said so many crazy things, I don't know at this point. So, I'm gonna have to do some research on that. Brandy is so loyal to her family at a fault. To say it that boldly, I don't know if that's in Brandy, even at her grown age, that she would just say it flat out like that. Y'all know Ray J is Celebrity Grim Reaper, so I definitely feel that he's on them tapes. Well, allegedly, he also has a substance issue, and that's been something that's been around for a while too. So, yeah, and let's be real here. Ray J isn't been the one who's really had a lucrative career. It's been Brandy. So unless Brandy, was like taking care of him, how was he making the money and the lifestyle that he had? Like, real talk. Like that one reality show that he did, in Love with Ray J, whatever that crap he did, trying to be Flavor Love. I think that only lasted for maybe a season or something. Like, he has not had a lucrative career where he's had a consistent television show like his sister, a consistent singing career like his sister. So where was the money coming from? Where was the money coming from? And he always, in my opinion, seeing how he's moved, always was trying to prove himself because he was always under Brandy's shadow. No matter how much Brandy tried to include him and make sure that, people knew that, like, that's her brother and she gonna ride for him. I think he always felt like he was always in her shadow, which that happens in these situations. But so yeah, I just wanted to talk about that one first, but then we get to the main thing. Now, interesting enough, also, Reggie Wright. I don't know if you guys know who Reggie Wright is. Reggie Wright grew up with Suge, okay? Grew up with Suge. I think they even went to Linwood High School together. They have known each other since they was kids. And at one point, Reggie Wright, who is a former cop, and I believe he comes from a family of cops. If I'm not mistaken, his father also was a cop. Ended up taking over death row, especially when Suge went to prison. They have definitely had their beefs and had their ins and outs, but he confirms that what Suge was saying, like, because Suge said Ray J wasn't kicking it around us. He was not kicking it around us during the death row days. He just was not. And Reggie was like, he's right. But guess what? Everybody in freaking California, LA, Compton, Carson, Long Beach will probably confirm that. Ray J was young as hell at that time. D-Row literally was from the 90, 93, 94 era to, like, when did the end of the era really come? Like 97, 98, like almost literally right after Pac was gone. He was a teenager or preteen. Your mama was not having you kicking it around him. And even if you tried to slide and do some bad shit, because Ray J, in my opinion, was bad as hell back in those days. One thing I will say about Suge, as crazy as things happened back in those days, he had a moral compass when it came to kids. Kids was not hanging it around the guys that he had around him. They just weren't. And if they were for a little bit, it was for studio purposes, and that's it. I never saw kids hanging around that bunch. He comes from an old code of keep the kids out of stuff. So that's why I'm just like, Ray J, you, to me, in my opinion, saying anything for clout. And now I'm sure you kind of regret it, because it seemed like to me Suge about to tell it all. But even Reggie Wright, who don't get along with Suge at most of the time, I don't know if they get along now, whatever the case may be, but he even confirmed. He was like, yeah, he was like, that's true. That's true. And he even tried to say that Ray J was trying to play gangster, baby gangster at one point, when he did see him talking about how he had a 25 on his hip or something like that. And he kind of just laughed it off like, this is great. This is Brandy little brother. Like, what he talking about? Like he's some type of thug. Let me see. Remember that Brandy unalive someone accidentally and paid them off. This is why Brandy is staying quiet. DeMarcus, that happened years ago. That happened years ago. I don't think that's the reason why she's staying quiet. That happened probably like 15 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, maybe even longer than that. I don't know if that's the reason why. I think she kind of tired of Ray J shit, if I can be honest. But that's my opinion. Ray J was on a documentary about Diddy. I think it was the Tubi one. He's trying to stay in the news. He gonna stay in the news and then end up becoming the news if he don't be careful. If he don't be careful. He was on Love and Hip Hop last night, and somebody said that. I was literally one of those reality show pages that I watch on IG. I don't know if it's one of them, but I saw like it was with Princess and someone else, right, Danielle, that they had some type of sit down meeting or whatever. And I sometimes just look at the comments more than I look at the videos. And people were saying that he was on that ooh wee. They said he was on that ooh wee, and I was like, damn. Like, but they was also saying that Princess and Ray J deserve each other because they both cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Which help me understand how the hell they even got on Love and Hip Hop Miami in the first place. Like, is it getting that bad where they switching people from other cities because they need the ratings? Because if y'all ain't even living in Miami, what the hell are y'all doing there? That makes no sense to me. But let me move on. So then we get to the big stuff that he pretty much accused Ray J and Snoop of. Okay. Again, this is all alleged. Shoot, even the Art of Dialogue had to put that up there. Like, we don't know this to be true. Like, don't put this on us. Okay. So let me play it.
He posted a thing up there when you came to visit me in prison, and they didn't let you in because whatever y'all were doing in the car, and to do a book deal. All the phone calls recorded. Just a book deal. That's all you wanted to do. So I agreed to do that. The lawyer left out with the paperwork. I'm quite sure the paperwork you posted. At the same time, you and another gentleman were doing some activities in the car. That's why you weren't allowed to come in. Because they came to talk to me, was going to go back and get you. They said, y'all was on some weirdo shit. And I ain't going to put that out there, but you know what it is, and you know what they said it is. But at the same time, I got the proof to show you. Time they got out of jail, because that was a whole nother lie you lied on everybody about, you signed the right back over. But you go on these shows, and you go on these live games, and you try to interfere with my family got going on. But I'm going to show you how grown people do it. The lawyer going to sue you for $200 million for lying. Also, Lil Ray, you need prayer, little homie. Everybody should be praying for you. They should double down to make sure you do like mandatory drug testing every day. Because meth only stay in your system for, I guess, 2 days. That's what I heard. Every day. That princess took the wheel. That'll drive you back to safety. You got a gangster in that bitch. Also, everybody speak on Left Eye and Tupac, who's definitely not here to defend themselves and do their voice. Left Eye is the homegirl, Lisa, Nina, as we call her. Really close to me. Really a great person. Everybody talking about death row situations, Left Eye situations. These are things that people talk about that never been in their presence. I never met them. I was not there. You ran across a few things right there because the motherfucker treats you with respect and bring you around.
Okay, so really quick on what he's talking about. For those who may not know, when Lisa Left Eye Lopez had passed, a lot of people started saying that everything that Suge touch passes away. I don't know if you guys remember that, but like they were trying to say, oh, Tupac, like you was dealing with Tupac and then he passed, and then you dealing with Left Eye and he passed. So what he's talking about is everybody was talking about my company, me and Left Eye, as if they was trying to connect the dots, like if I guess he's trying to say if I had something to do with it.
It's not for no clown shit. I'm starting to warn him now. Same circus, different clowns. It's not too late. People should do stories about their own life, not my life. I'm quite sure it's an interesting thing that you guys can put together and tell your story. It's for me to tell my motherfucking story. When it comes to the part where you talk about Left Eye had a problem with it, he died because of me, that's a lie. Let's talk about some facts. Whitney Houston is on your hands. I remember the conversation when she thought her life was in the toilet. She didn't even say your name. She just used the term that Brandy's little brother bringing me drugs and doing drugs with me. Brandy's little brother trying to kiss me and do drugs with me. Next thing you know, she's dead.
Child, I hope they don't. Fair use. I'm gonna have to cut this in between, child, because you know how they are. We're trying to flag stuff. But hi, AFBM. Let me see what you are saying. Welcome. Ray J is the only one that needed to fit in where he didn't fit in at his mama. His mama couldn't make him no man on that stage, and he walked off stage of Creep when the show was all done. Yeah, he definitely was trying to make it. He was trying to create his own buzz, his own hype, because he was under his sister's shadow. Ray J was bad as hell, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, Ray J was bad as hell. He was trying to be a wannabe gangster. He was acting like, back in the day, like, you know what I'm saying? He was trying to be thugged out. And it's like, dude, even before Brandy started making it in TV and in like singing and everything else, you was living in Carson. Carson is a freaking suburb. Carson ain't the hood. Carson got nice houses. Okay, people moved to Carson to get out of places like Compton and Long Beach and South Central. You lived in Carson. So, you know what I mean? He was really trying to act like he was, thug life. And no. He's known as Brandy's brother, right? Should Ray J F around him. And exactly. This is exactly what's going on. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Ray was a stage kid. He didn't go outside. He didn't play in a Hollywood parking lot. He played behind. Yeah, now here's the thing. There was times that he did sneak out and creep out, considering the fact that, a lot of the times his mom was with Brandy. That was their manager. But of course, Brandy, from early 90s, especially 94, when that album hit, they was constantly out there. And so it did give him some idle time to kind of, be out and act like he was rough and tough. But he ain't never been about that life. Right? Church boy, all of that. Sometimes church boys be bad as hell, though. We definitely know that.
Brag about all these phone calls recorded. You brag about how Snoop tell you and told you he's a part of the people who put bread to kill Pac. That's why I say don't mention Tupac's name in none of your interviews, because you fuck with the motherfucker Snoop, who said he had something to do with it.
I forgot he did all of this cursing, and maybe because I cursed the same way, I forgot, child. So yeah, so he pretty much implies that you are behind Whitney. But for those who've literally been but he hey Rio, respect sis, I've never been on your channel, but couldn't he sing because women in my city loved him and Usher? He could sing, I wouldn't say necessarily he could sing now. I think probably all of the party and stuff he's done has definitely not helped with that. He could sing. He's not a Brandy singer. But again, a lot of people like Ray J because of the access he had too. And Ray J, you know what I'm saying? Ray J is a cute guy. I mean, he was cute back in the day. He's a little short guy though, y'all. He ain't tall. But he's a cute guy. But he also, I think a lot of the girls was around Ray J also because of who his sister was. And, you know, he was around that Hollywood crowd. He was around that Hollywood crowd. Only Take You to Vegas. Ray has so many. AFBM. I understand that there's some cursing on here that I'm probably gonna have to bleep out, but bleep out your MFs, please. We and the other stuff too. Like, I'm matter of fact, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to time this out because that's a lot. That is a lot. Let me just delete the comment because no, yeah, that's a lot. Carson didn't like them. Carson is racist. You better stay in house because Carson don't like black people. I don't know if you're understanding what I mean by Carson. Carson is a city in California. But yeah, Carson is a city in California, and Carson, for the most part, it was predominantly black at one point. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, so with that being said, so yeah, he pretty much says you're behind it. But here's the thing, we've heard that before. I know I've heard it before. Because again, from my understanding, allegedly, she was hanging around with Ray J that whole entire week that she was out here for the Grammys. So, and then all of a sudden that happened to her, which is always going to strike me weird that that happened to her and happened to Bobby Christina. Didn't Bobby Christina pass under the same type of weird circumstances? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, like it definitely. Yeah. So, but that situation with Ray J, that has been something that has been heard, especially around here for a minute, because everybody always wondered why the hell are they kicking it like this, anyways? Like, literally, Ray J is young enough to be Whitney's freaking child. She would have been a teenage mother, but nonetheless, still, that could be his mama. So the fact that that was happening and just under the circumstances, a lot of people have said that. And interesting enough, let's be clear. Let's talk about it. I'm gonna talk about it. Let's be clear that it does seem like after that happened, maybe a couple years after that, all of a sudden, Ray J's on reality shows. Ray J gets, you know what I'm saying? Well, I know some of his, I think companies are allegedly getting sued, but he gets the Ray-Bans, he gets the scooters. Where are you finding the capital to invest in all of this stuff? So it makes you wonder. Now, as far as the Snoop situation, attitude, nobody liked him in elementary, and he I like he was gangster. It wasn't bad that he was looking for. Okay, AFBM, are you from here? Okay, so maybe you are, but Carson, I mean, at the end of the day, California, people think California is very liberal. California is still a very racist state, just like this world is racist. But for the most part, Carson had predominantly black people in Carson. Just like at one point Inglewood was predominantly black. That night Whitney had that wet wig tuxedo jacket on over her dress with Ray J. It was obvious something wasn't right. So with that, it's stay open, telling people what to say or not to say. To me, Joe over to. Okay, look, at the end of the day, I was trying to, you know what I'm saying, have conversation with you, but out of respect for me, if you can't respect the fact that I'm telling you just to asterisk out the words, you know what I'm saying, you can go, because I'm just dialogue, but I'm just telling you to watch the actual just asterisk the stuff. That's all. That's all. It was a little too much. And at the end of the day, they will try to flag stuff. That's just what it is. Yes, Ray-Ban. I thought it was Ray-Ban, child, Raycon or whatever. That just shows you how much I'm invested in his stuff. But yeah, so all of a sudden he just kind of spiked up. He's never had this type of attention before, ever. Okay. And this happens after, you know what I'm saying, Whitney passed. And then as far as Snoop is concerned, all right, as far as Snoop is concerned, Child. Let's talk about it. And I think I've said this before, and other people have said this before. Sometimes you got to look at the last person that's standing. And what do I mean by that? When you look at the Diddies, you look at the Jay-Z's, you see that where they actually started in the beginning of their careers with people that were affiliated with them, partners with them, you know, those people from the biggies to the people behind the scenes that was working with Diddy on the business side to Jay-Z, Dame Dash, all of that stuff. And now all of those people that were attached to them or affiliated with them when they first started are no longer around, and not just no longer around, but pretty much just don't have careers or are unalived. Look at Snoop. Look at Snoop. Now, one could say, well, Nicole, there's Dre. Dre's the one who put him on. Yeah, he did. But again, you have to look at the people that Snoop tried to have attached to him coming up. Where are they now? And let's be honest, you could say the same thing with Dre. The people who came up with Dre, where are they now? So you have to start looking at the last ones who are standing. Now, when it comes to Snoop, Snoop had the East Siders, if I'm not mistaken. He had the Dog Pound. He had, you know what I'm saying, all of these people that he was trying to come up, you know what I'm saying, with and try to put on. But yet the only one that still seems to be relevant is Snoop. That's it. Is that by happenstance? Just a coincidence? You know what I'm saying? So it makes you kind of wonder. It makes you kind of wonder. Now, I know some people gonna roll their eyes when they hear this name, but even Jaguar Wright, there's audio out there where she is alleging that Snoop kind of has something to do, I guess, with Nipsey situation, because her words was because Nipsey was about to eclipse you and pretty much take over. Now, again, some people be like, I don't believe Jack. I don't believe Jack. But now Snoop is saying something. Snoop is trying to imply that in some way, somehow, Snoop had something to do with Pac. Now, he also said that Orlando, the guy that everybody was saying allegedly offed Pac from the beginning, he keeps saying that he didn't do it. Now, the reality is that would be a form of snitching, in my opinion, if he actually said that. Even though that guy is no longer here on this earth, I don't know if he would ever really tell us the truth about that, because that's just not in Suge's code to do, which is interesting because Suge grew up in a two-parent household. They called him Sugar Bear, because they said he was really, really sweet. So it's just interesting how people can really get caught up in this life, even when they come from a good foundation. But with that being said, soon we will be seeing a beef between Snoop Dogg and 50 Cent. Now that will be interesting. When Snoop Dirt come out, child, is going to be a mess. Yeah, because he has kind of been able to keep a clean record besides that case back in the day. I think Diddy and Snoop has something to do with Pac. Interesting enough, right? Because he definitely has never had any issues with Diddy. And he definitely had no problem being cool with Diddy. Now, my thing is this. One could say, he never wanted that drama. He a grown man, and now, you know what I'm saying, he, just wants to, move on, be an adult, Yeah, you could say that. But the problem is, who was the main one at that damn hip hop awards that year talking about something? The East Coast don't love Snoop Dogg. The East Coast don't love Snoop Dogg. Y'all don't. We know we on the East Coast. Who was the main one in the front talking all that ish? That was Snoop. That was Snoop. So, you know what I'm saying? You can't sit up there and be all buck, nuck if you buck, and then all of a sudden want to be on some Rodney King. Can't we all just get along? It don't work like that. So let me see if I can play some more of this child, because he was cussing and fussing. But again, because I cuss like that, I don't think I was picking up the cues.
So Snoop was involved in killing hip hop best all-time artist. You was involved in killing the best female vocalist that ever did it, Whitney Houston. So to get your ratings to go up for Love and Hip Hop, wherever the fuck that is, or whatever you guys got to do to be relevant, talk about that. That alone speaking volumes. And I wish for all y'all's success. I have nothing negative or bad to say about nobody I know.
Okay, let's keep it real, Suge. You gonna drop something like that and say, I wish y'all all success. I'm not gonna speak on nothing negative on people I know. Yeah, okay. All right, sir. All right.
But I will tell the truth. I want the world to understand that everybody who's using these platforms, podcasts, there's a lot of great ones. But we don't have to put nobody down to be somebody.
That's true.
So I'm saying this one time and one time only. I wish all the people in society do well. It's rough out there in the streets. You got some motherfuckers with guns and no bullets.
Child, he going in like a true West Coaster, I tell you, boy. I tell you, boy. How does the art of dialogue get away with this and get his money with the stuff they should be saying? Because he just be going in. I guess educational purposes, fair use. He probably got to put stuff in all the time.
God bless you. Once again, you can get rich with the devil's money, but you only can be happy with God's money. I'm Suge Knight. I'm out.
Now that was a word. That was a word. And I think it resonates with what he did back in the day. You can get rich with the devil's money, but you can only be happy with God's money. That was a word. That's why I put it on my thumbnail. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I put it on my thumbnail, because I think we are seeing that more and more right now. You have people who may have a whole lot of money, but they are not happy. You may have people with a whole lot of money, but they are so foggy in their brain because they own 50,000 substances. Clearly doesn't mean that they're happy. And it makes you wonder if Suge is trying to imply that at the time when he had a lot of money and he was on top of the world, was he really happy? So those things, that hit me. And I think we're going to see a lot more of that. People with allegedly so much money, it really shows how unhappy they are. Like, real talk. Art of Dialogue interviews everybody, and he just let them talk. Yeah, he do just let them talk. And he got plenty of followers. So you know what? I think sometimes they'll mess with the little YouTubers versus the big YouTubers, because the fact that he can have these type of conversations and Suge can speak freely like that, I doubt very seriously they're like striking all of his stuff. So I think it just really depends. That was definitely real what he said. Absolutely real. Absolutely. That was the last thing he said. And that was really what caught my eye. I said, well, there you go. I said, to me, everybody need to hear that, because for whatever reason, people always want to equate money with happiness or what appears to be success is that that person is happy. Haven't we seen a lot of these celebrities lately where they're like, the person is saying, oh, they look soulless behind their eyes, like they're just not there. They look like they're tired, or they look like something is not right. Right. Because that doesn't mean that they're happy. I'm sure a lot of people right now who are struggling to paycheck, making ends meet, are the average folks who work like us, are more happy and can sleep at night more so than these people who are living in these mansions. Exactly. More money, more problems. And it seems like more money, the more you sell your soul. Child, this is crazy. But yeah, you guys, let's continue the conversation below. I want to know what you guys think about this. Baby, at the end of the day, have I heard these rumors about Snoop and Ray J before when it comes to Tupac and Whitney? I have. What I did not hear is in the beginning, the big stuff that he was saying about Ray J, Danny Boy, and all of that. I did not know that, but I don't put anything past anyone at this point, which is why I just never get caught up in the celebrity fandom of it all. I just don't, because if once it's no way in the world you can convince me that these people are just all innocent. It doesn't work like that. It seems like the more you climb up that ladder and you get to that so-called untouchable status, you have had to do some trifling stuff to get there. So this is why I say I don't put anything past them. I really don't. So with that being said, you guys, please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you on my next video. Toodles.